So, wife is gone. It is almost midnight. I'm about to tear apart my entire house just to set up a studio. Let's get on it. Today, I'm going to talk about, what am I trying to say? This is not working. Today, I'm going to continue the topic about the Stoic philosophy and these coins that I bought and that I showed you in the video I posted today, right now, a couple hours ago, that I hit publish, that I meant to publish today, but accidentally scheduled for whatever. It's late. Anyway, who cares? You know what? It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Anyway, I need to set up my house. This is going to be a long project, and but I have a good solid 5 hours right now until she gets back in the morning or whatever it is. I plan on being up pretty much all night just to film a couple scenes, a couple clips of these coins. You ready?
I heard they make sidewalks, cause everybody ain't street. Well, everybody can't write to a beat. I can write it, recite it, record it, and press it, and push it, promote it. It's second nature, my lyrics is like a poem. I can pack it and knock it and sell it and do what it takes to propel it. See, I'm a hollow point, y'all niggas is pellets. And this is David and Goliath, I'ma roll with the mighty ducks. March to my own beat, cause I don't give two fucks, but I do give hot shit.
Okay, so here's the plan. I need a background that's far away. I'm gonna set up a bunch of stuff on this glass thing right here after I clean it because it's pretty gross. Hopefully I'll get some pretty cool photos and a little bit of video. Should be pretty cool.
I'm the speediest, exponentially excluding all of the greediest. Mac in the spot, got this track in the knot. Brought to you by Ken and Knight. If you like it or not, eat shit, bitch. No, you don't want none of me. You don't want none of him either, man. No, do you really think you wanna?
All right, here we have a bunch of these coins. Maybe I think I'm gonna go just with the standard kit lens because it's kind of macro. Crank it up to 55, get in there, get some lights. I'm gonna fling the lights across, make it look really cool. I might even pull out the gimbal and get some zoomy shots. We'll see what we can do. Hopefully this will work. I'm not sure as I'm looking at it. Maybe I need to put that other white thing under the glass. It'll work better that way. Maybe, I don't know. Let's do it. All right, it's 2 days later. It's been kind of a long week ever since that Friday morning shift. Really screwed me up. Anyway, so I'm at work again, and I want to finish talking about these coins. I think they're cool. I think it's hard to be constantly living in a mindset of like, this is like the right way to live. This is how I should constantly be. You know, these are my principles. This is what I should be doing constantly. It's hard to think like that. It's hard to keep your mind on a value and like, you know, because obviously you're temperamental. You have emotions. Shit happens. You're like, So what this company did was they make these coins. DailyStoic.com is the company. They make these coins, and the whole idea is that you have this like heavy thing that's in your pocket all day, and whenever you reach in your pocket, you'll feel it and you'll be reminded by it of the principle that is written on the coin. And there's 7 of them, one for each day of the week. There's more coins that they make, but these are like kind of their weekly or daily meditations that you can keep around with you. I think it's really cool. It's a good idea, and I've got all 7, but normally I try to carry around a different one. Not that I always do, but you know, good to have them. I have them like lined up on a shelf at home so you can see all of them. It's really cool. Anyway, I think the first one that stood out to me was the obstacle is the way. That's a cool one. On the back it says the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. That's kind of smart because it's just take life as it comes at you, you know, and like if something stands up in front of you, you should go into it instead of try to dance around it. Like in the military, we have to do that wall, you know, and like in basic training, you see all those videos where people are jumping up over high walls on full gear. It's like there is no other way around this except for getting over that goddamn wall. And sometimes it can be really hard, especially if you're exhausted and you've been running and like you haven't slept and, you know, whatever, basic training is horrible. It can be really difficult to get over those hurdles, but when you do it, like, it is the only way sometimes. And when you're done, it's like, oh, I did it, let's keep moving. You know, like, oh, I can jump over that wall. Oh, I can jump over the next wall. And I think it's important just on a basic level to have difficulty, because difficulty is what makes you better. Hard shit is important to go through. This one is amor fati. I don't know exactly how to say that, and I'm probably going to screw up some of these pronunciations because I've read a lot of this stuff, but I never really listened to the word, you know, like how do you say specific words if you've never heard them? Anyway, on the back it says, not merely to bear what is necessary, but love it. I heard a good story once from my rabbi who was talking about how one time he was with his rabbi when he was a teenager going somewhere in their car, and they got a car accident, and for some reason, like his rabbi did not get upset, and he was just happy about it. And he was like, you have a choice, you know, like you can either be angry, sad, or happy about things that happen to you in life, like, but you have really no control over what happens to you. Your only choice is to how you respond. So respond with the love of faith that, hey, this happened and I have to accept this, and I'm going to accept it wholeheartedly, and I'm not going to be angry at the world because things aren't going my way. And that's important. I think about that sometimes, because especially in this time of like Corona and everything's kind of being pushed off, and the inevitable like economic collapse that's going to come from all this. Important to keep that in mind. Here's one that I don't really connect to, but I keep it anyway just because difficult things are the way. Anyway, summum bonum. It says on the back, just that you do the right thing, the rest doesn't matter. Around the circles, it's a really cool coin. Around the outside it says dying or busy, cold or warm, tired or well rested, despised or honored. I think the story of Noah is a good example of this, you know? Like, the only reason he survived was because he just did the right thing, no matter what. Even if people really around him were all horrible people, he still did the right thing and survived a flood of chaos and destruction. Whether or not it actually happened, again, I'm going to preface this, I'm not like a big literal Bible reader, but I think the story is very true. If you get your family together, you can survive a lot. Just do the right thing. That's all. Just do the right thing. Even if people are making fun of you, or, you know, they think you're an idiot, or they hate you, or it's really cold outside, or whatever it is. It's an important thing to remember. Google says it's good summer. I don't know what that means. The highest good. That's what it means. The highest good. Imagine the highest good. Ego is the enemy. It's like a little headless bust. I think is kind of funny, you know, because your ego is like in your head. In the back it says, ego sucks us down like the law of gravity, aspiration, success, failure. I actually looked at this morning. By this morning, I mean when I got to work, because I was working until 6 this morning, and I went home and went to sleep and got up and came back to work in the afternoon. It says, ego is the enemy, and I was looking at this when I got to work this afternoon, and I was like, I don't want to make these videos right now just because, like, I don't want people to think of me a certain way, which is really stupid, because I'm like, well, I have a certain image of what I want the world to see me as. Your self-image of what you think you should be is going to stop you from being what you should be, actually. This one's hard to say, but it's cool. It says premeditatio malorum, which is like, think about bad things that could happen to you. It's like a ship that's like in the sea, sinking. It says on the back, all the terms of our human lot should be before our eyes. And around it says exile, torture, war, and shipwreck, which is like kind of a cool idea, because you're like, think about all the bad things that could go happen. Think about all the bad things that could happen, and be aware, I guess, of how that is an annoying siren. And it has been happening. I was here last night, and it happened all last night. I don't know if you can hear it anyway from the mic. Anyway, I'm gonna keep talking. This is good because it reminds you that things could be much worse. Like, oh, I could be like in the desert eating white nonsense off the floor. Or I could be in Egypt. Speaking of Passover that just happened, I could be in Egypt, a slave. Could be much worse. This one that says sympathia, or sympathia, I don't know how to say these. It's got a little picture of like the, what do you call them? Those olive branches, and like that famous picture of the Earth from space, one of those, or the big blue dot, whatever it's called. Or the big, I can't remember what the picture is called. And on the back it says, we are made for each other. And around that it says, the fruit of this life is good character and acts for the common good. That's important. I think that's true. You know, like a lot of the times, some of my most like favorite jobs that I've done, by jobs I mean like video jobs and photography jobs, have been ones that are like, I didn't necessarily make a ton of money, but it was to help other people. It makes you a lot happier doing things for the greater good. It's a good way to live. Keep your brain healthy. And your feelings, it makes your feelings feel good. Also, I think it's important to realize that like we're all like people. There's a certain level of human dignity. You got to maintain that. That is getting louder. You believe that and you remind yourself constantly of it. It's hard to act in a barbaric way towards other people because they're literally just like you. Like even if they're vastly different, which everyone's vastly different, even if they are totally different from you, they're still 99.999% exactly like you. And last, my favorite is the Memento Mori. The only reason I got these coins was because of this one. Of course, on the back it says you could leave life right now. Important to think about YOLO. You know? Hey, there we go, it stopped. I actually wanted to get a tattoo of this for a long time. I'm not really into tattoos. By that I mean, my wife wouldn't let me. She's like, no, bummer. Anyway, there's the Memento Mori, which is, you know, remember your mortality, or remember that you're gonna die, or contemplate death. And this is like this was really intense for me when I first discovered this kind of like idea. And I know it sounds discovering an idea, but I feel like I did when I was like 24-ish. And that was a rough year. That was a rough year because I was like, oh my God, I'm almost 25. And that means I'm like, if I'm lucky, I'm a quarter way through my life, I'm gonna die. It freaks me out, and it pushed me to go do things that I didn't really think I could do or think that I would be willing to do. Only because I was like, I don't want to die, and when I'm laying there on my deathbed, just think, what did I do my entire life? You know, was I sitting on Instagram just flipping through, double clicking, you know, big asses? Like, it's stupid. So I thought it's incredibly important to remember that you're gonna die and that you're gonna be laying in bed one day thinking, this is it. This is the last moment I'm going to be ever awake. And I don't want to sit there and be like, I'm going to regret all the time that I could have been doing something better, or I could have been doing something that I valued more than what I actually did. That's my favorite coin because it constantly, dude, I pick up this in the morning and I pick this up in the morning or whenever, like during the day. And I'm like, what am I doing right now? Like, why am I sitting for hours on end playing Call of Duty on my phone? It's like, my thumb is hurt, I'm getting annoyed and stressed out. I'm yelling in the middle of the night, waking my wife up. True story. She was really mad. You know, why am I doing all this useless nonsense? Why am I sitting in bed until 3 o'clock in the morning on my phone, and then when I get up at 8, I have to stay in bed for another hour before I actually can wake up because I was up for so late on this stupid phone when I could have just put it down and gone to sleep and then gotten up at a normal hour and felt perfectly fine with myself. Why am I, you know, sitting around doing nothing instead of going and working out? Why am I anything? You know, why am I sitting at home trying to argue with people on Facebook when I could just hang out with my friends and actually enjoy company, you know, instead of getting mad at the world for disagreeing with me about stupid political non-issues on the internet. You know, for the most part, I really don't, like, I just stay away from like the nonsense. And like, you're gonna die one day. What are you gonna, you're gonna sit there going, I'm 89 years old about to die, and wow, I really did comment on a lot of Facebook posts. It's like, come on, like, it's fucking a waste of your life. What am I trying to say? I can't think. It's been a really rough couple days. I really screwed up my sleep schedule on Friday. I haven't been able to sleep. Like, I got home at like 6:30 this morning, and I was rolling around in bed till like 7:30. I was like, I cannot go to sleep. I'm a little bit out of it. I'm having a hard time keeping the thoughts straight. I'll get through this though. I'll get my sleep schedule back on schedule. I'll start feeling better pretty soon, hopefully. If you want these, maybe I'll put a link in the description. You can check them out. They're kind of expensive, but I think it's worth it. Anyway, I hope this was valuable, and maybe you've found something new that you can use to maintain a little bit of stability in these crazy times.